Okay, so once again, good afternoon, everyone. So our topic for today is about inventory control, management control, or inventory control management. No? So inventory control is a planned approach of determining what to order, of course, when to order, and how much to order, and of course, how much to stock so that costs associated with buying and storing are optimal without interrupting productions in sales. No? So inventory control basically deals with two problems. No? When should an order be placed? No? How much should be ordered? No? These questions are answered by the use of inventory models. No? The scientific inventory control system strike the balance between the loss due to non-availability of an item in cost of carrying the stock of an item. So scientific inventory or scientific inventory control aims in maintaining optimum level of stocks of goods required by the company at minimum cost of course, minimum cost to the company. Okay, to give us more detail about the inventory management control, let us all welcome Madam Sakilayan. Take it away, Madam.
Thank you so much po, Doc Melo. Good afternoon po sa lahat. Good afternoon po, Doc Melo. I am Susana Sakilayan and I'll be presenting or discussing about inventory management control. So, first of all, what is inventory? So, it refers to the materials and stock, idle resource of an enterprise. Inventories represent those items which are either stocked for sale or they are in the process of manufacturing, or they are in the form of materials which are yet to be utilized. The interval between receiving the purchased parts and transforming them into final products varies from industries to industries depending upon the cycle time of manufacture. It is therefore necessary to hold inventories of various kinds to act as a buffer between supply and demand for efficient operation of the system. Thus, an effective control on inventory is a must for smooth and efficient running of the production cycle with least interruptions. So next, why do we have inventories? Or what are the reasons for keeping inventories? The first one is to stabilize production. The demand for an item fluctuates because of the number of factors. Example, the seasonality, production schedule, etc. The inventories or raw materials and components should be made available to the production as per the demand failing, which results in stock out and the production stoppage takes place for want of materials. Hence, the inventory is kept to take care of this fluctuation so that the production is smooth. The second one, to take advantage of price discounts. So usually the manufacturers offer discount for bulk buying, and to gain this price advantage, the materials are bought in bulk even though it is not required immediately. Thus, inventory is maintained to gain economy in purchasing. The third one, to meet the demand during the replenishment period. The lead time for procurement of materials depends upon many factors like location of the source, demand supply condition, etc. The inventory is maintained to meet the demand during the procurement or replenishment period. The fourth one, to prevent loss of orders or sales. In this competitive scenario, one has to meet the delivery schedules at 100% service level. Means they cannot afford to miss the delivery schedule, which may result in loss of sales. And to avoid this to happen, the organization must have to maintain inventory. And the next, to keep pace with changing market conditions. The organizations have to anticipate the changing market sentiments, and they have to stock materials in anticipation of non-availability of materials or sudden increase in prices. And then the last one, sometimes the organizations have to stock materials due to other reasons like suppliers' minimum quantity condition, seasonal availability of materials, or sudden increase in prices. So now let's move on with the meaning of inventory control. So inventory control, it is a planned approach of determining what to order, when to order, and how much to order, and how much to stock so that costs associated with buying and storing are optimal without interrupting production and sales. Inventory control basically deals with two problems. So the first one, when should an order be placed or order level? How much should be ordered or order quantity? These questions are answered by the use of inventory models. The scientific inventory control system strikes the balance between the loss due to non-availability of an item and cost of carrying the stock of an item. Scientific inventory control aims at maintaining optimum level of stock of goods required by the company at minimum cost to the company. So now let's move on with the objectives of inventory control or the aim. The first one is to ensure adequate supply of products to customer and avoid shortages as far as possible. Number two, to make sure that the financial investment in inventories is minimum. Implied example, to see the working capital is blocked to the minimum possible extent. Number three, efficient purchasing, storing, consumption, and accounting for materials is an important objective. Number four, to maintain timely record of inventories of all the items and to maintain the stock within the desired limits. Number five, to ensure timely action for replenishment. And the number six, to provide a reserve stock for variation in lead times of delivery of materials. And then the last one, the last objective is to provide a scientific base for both short-term and long-term planning of materials. And then now, the benefits of inventory control or the advantages of having inventory control. Number one, it improves customers' relationship. Next, it also makes the production smooth and uninterrupted, hence no stock out. And then third, efficient utilization of working capital. Fourth, economy in purchasing. And then the last one, eliminates the possibility of duplicate ordering because you are in control of your inventory. And then next, let's talk about the techniques of inventory control. In any organization, depending on the type of business, inventory is maintained. When the number of items in inventory is large, then large amount of money is needed to create such inventory. It becomes the concern of the management to have a proper control over its ordering, procurement, maintenance, and consumption. The control can be for order quality and order frequency. So here are the different techniques of inventory control. The first one is ABC analysis. Next, HML analysis. 3, VED analysis. 4, FSN analysis. And number 5, SDE analysis. 6, GOLF or golf analysis. And the last one is SOS analysis. So let's talk about first about what ABC analysis is. So in this analysis, the classification of existing inventory is based on annual consumption and the annual value of the items. Materials are classified into 3 categories. A, for most important. B, moderately important. C, least important items. So I have here a table which shows the percentage of inventory items and percentage of number of value items. For most important items, it has number of inventory items 10%. B moderately important items, which has 20%, and then this important items, which has inventory items 70%. Percentage of number of value items. For the most important items, it has 70%. For moderately important items, it has 20% as is. And then less important items, it has 10% only. It talks about the value of the items. So this analysis is according to the value of materials. It focuses on the question of which item should be given greater attention and care of the enterprise for the whole year. It talks about the annual or for the whole year. And of course, those items that should be given greater attention is those items in most important or those items with high value or costly. So that is the ABC analysis. Next is HML analysis. In this analysis, the classification of existing inventory is based on unit price of the item. So as you can see, it classified into 3 categories. H for high price, M for medium price, L for low cost item. So high price, these are the items with high unit value. Medium price, these are the items with medium unit value. And then the last one, low cost, these are the items with low unit value or low unit cost. So for example, you are owner of an online shop that sells watches. The amount of watches that are branded and its unit value is the most expensive among the other brands. Let's say it is 10,000 above or 10,000 to 15,000 pesos. So in this analysis, it will be classified as each item because it is the most expensive among the others. And then the value of the next brand is, for example, 5,000 to 9,000. It will be classified as M items. And then the last brand is 2,000 to 4,000 pesos, and it will be classified as L items, which has low unit value. And that's it. That's how we classify the items in HML analysis. It will be classified based on the unit price of the item. Next is the VED analysis. In this analysis, the classification of existing inventory is based on the criticality of the items. And it is also classified into 3. V for vital, which is very important or necessary. E for essential, minimum supply of this is enough. D, desirable, optional. So let's define this analysis. V for vital, these items or the unavailability of these items may stop the production, meaning the operation will not continue if this item is out of stock. So this is classified in vital. And then essential, the stock out of this item is very high, but keeping a minimum supply of this inventory is enough. So you don't have to stock more items of this. And then desirable, optional. Why it is optional? These items won't make any interruption to the operation or production, meaning the operation can run with or without this item. So that is VED analysis. That's how it classifies the items. Next, FSN analysis. In this analysis, the classification of existing inventory is based on the consumption of the items. So F, fast moving items, S, slow moving items, and non-moving items. So for fast moving items, These are items or inventory stock that are used or issued frequently. Slow moving, these items are, or these are the items or inventory stock that are used or issued for a specific period of time only. And then the last one, non-moving items. These are items or inventory stock that are not used or issued at all over a certain time frame. So if you are an owner of an enterprise, if you want to know if which items are moving quickly and which items are dead stock, then an FSN analysis can help you categorize your inventory stock. Next is the SDE analysis. Classification of existing inventory is based on the items. It is based on the availability of an item. So scarce, when we say scarce, it means insufficient supply. So S stands for scarce, D stands for difficult, E for easy. So insufficient, scarce, insufficient, or shortage of supply, the items can be classified in this category as like imported products. We all know naman how hard to import products from other countries, right? There are lots of problems we can encounter that need to be considered. There are like problems in logistics, problems that the enterprise can encounter, like in customs, brokers, and the like. Most likely, these items procured once in a year because of expenditure of its import. It's very hard to procure because we can encounter long-term lead time of this. And the next is difficult. Items that are classified difficult, these items are available indigenously. But the problem is, it is very difficult to procure. Why? Because the items can be found in remote areas or in provinces, remote areas or very far away from cities. And these items are very difficult to get to. And then easy, the last one. These are the items that are easily available or readily available items. So this is the SDE analysis. This analysis looks at what inventory is available and classifies it according to the scarcity of supply. Next is gulf analysis. Classification of existing inventory is based on the sources of the item. So gulf stands for G, government supply, O, ordinarily available, L, local availability, F, foreign source of supply items. So for government supply, the supply of these items are in control of government. These are procured from government, state trading corporation, and public section. And since it is from government, it also involves long lead time. And payment may be in advance or against delivery because it is in government. Next is ordinarily available. The supply of these items can be found in an open market. It is ordinarily and readily available and can be procured from non-governmental agencies like private sections or private sectors. Lead time may vary from 30 to 45 days, unlike in government supply that is very long. Next is local availability. The supply of these items can be found in local, and it can be procured, or the items can be procured from local suppliers in our country. And then the last one, foreign source of supply items. The supply of these items can be found in foreign markets, and also it can be procured from the foreign supplier. And then the last analysis that I'll be discussing is SOS analysis. SOS analysis is classification of existing inventory is based on the nature of supply of items or seasonality of items. So this is classified into two: seasonal items of seasonal items. So seasonal items, these are the items that are either available or not available on the market during certain seasons or periods of the year, or available throughout the year, but with regular fluctuations in their quantities and prices that are linked to the season or time of the year. So off-seasonal, these are the items that are not used in the current situation or product that is very hard to procure. So for example, winter coat is off-season in the summer. We do not use sleeveless when it's winter, though we do not have winter. Another example is raw mangoes. Raw mangoes that are only available only during summers. But if we buy it in off-season, the cost is relatively high. So that's how we classify the items. This analysis helps the enterprises to identify items that are available only during a limited period of the year. So we're done with the different techniques of inventory and inventory control. And now let's move on with the inventory model. Inventory model deal with idle resources like men, machines, money, and materials. These models are concerned with two decisions: how much to order, purchase, or produce, and when to order so as to minimize the total cost. Economic order quantity can be determined by the two methods. The first one is the tabulation method, and the second one is the algebraic method. Let's now talk about the tabulation method. So I have here a figure, inventory cost curve. For the first decision, how much to order, there are two basic costs are considered, namely inventory carrying cost and then the ordering or acquisition cost. As the quantity ordered is increased, the inventory carrying cost increases while the ordering cost decreases. The ordered quantity means the quantity produced or procured during one production cycle. Economic order quantity is calculated by balancing the two costs. Economic order quantity, or EOQ, is the size of order which minimizes the total cost of carrying and cost of ordering. And next, this method involves the following steps. For tabulation, the first step is select the number of possible lot sizes to purchase. Next is to determine average inventory carrying cost for the lot purchase. Determine the total ordering cost for the orders placed. For determine the total cost for each lot size chosen, which is the summation of inventory carrying cost and ordering cost. And then the fifth one, select ordering quantity, which minimizes the total cost. So here is the next method of economic order quantity, which is algebraic method. This is the formula for algebraic method, and later on, I will give you example of computation. So the formula for calculating EOQ is recognized economic order quantity, or EOQ, equals to root over 2 multiplied by the annual demand multiplied by the ordering cost divided by the carrying or holding cost. Here is the first example I want to show you. Biotech Corporation produces chemicals to sell to wholesalers. one of the raw materials it buys is sodium nitrate, which is purchased at the rate of $22.50 per ton. Biotech's forecasts show an estimated requirement of 5,750,000 tons of sodium nitrate for the coming year. The annual total carrying or holding cost for this material is 40% of the acquisition cost, and the ordering cost is $595. Now, we have to find out what is the most economical order quantity. So again, when you say economical or economic order quantity, it is the ideal order quantity a company should purchase to minimize inventory costs such as holding costs, shortage costs, and order costs. So now let's see what information we already have in the question. So here we have the annual demand, which is 5,750,000 tons, carrying or holding costs, 40%. Here we have the acquisition cost or purchasing cost of $22.50 per ton. So 40% of the acquisition cost is all carrying costs for this material per unit. Thus, the carrying cost is equals to 40% of the acquisition cost of $22.50 per ton, which give us a carrying or holding cost $9 per ton per year. And the last thing we need is the ordering cost, which is given directly in the question that the ordering cost is $595. Putting all these values in our equation, we get economical order quantity equals to root over, here is the sample, EOQ equals to root over 2 times 5,750,000 annual demand times $595 order divided by $9 holding cost. So the answer is, or the economic order quantity is 27,573.135 tons per order. Now we have done the calculation, but what does it mean by the EOQ of 27,573.135 tons per order? Meaning, if an order of 27,573.135 of sodium nitrate are made for order, it will minimize inventory cost, holding cost, shortage cost, and order cost. And that's the most economic decision for biotech corporation for inventory management of this material. So meaning the economic order quantity or the ideal order quantity a company should purchase is 27,573.135 tons per order to minimize the inventory costs such as holding costs, shortage costs, and order costs. Now I have another example. Consider a retail clothing shop that carries a line of men's shirts. The shop sells 1,000 shirts each year. It costs the company $5 per year to hold a single shirt in inventory, and the fixed cost to place an order is $2. So here we have the annual demand, which is 1,000 shirts. The holding cost $5, ordering cost $2. So here is the computation. EOQ is equals to square root of 2 times 1,000 shirts times $2 order cost divided by $5 holding cost. So it equals to 4,000, and the next divided by 5, the holding cost equals to 800. Now get the square root of 800. the economic order quantity is equals to 28.28 or 28.3. The EOQ formula is the square root of 2 times. And now the ideal order size to minimize cost and meet customer demand is slightly more than 28 shares. So that's the computation. So that in this scenario, in this example, the economic order quantity of the ideal order quantity a company should purchase is 28.28 or 28.3 to minimize inventory costs such as holding costs, shortage costs, and order costs. So that's the end of my discussion about inventory management control. I hope you learned a lot. Thank you for listening.
Okay, so thank you very much. Okay, so again, to give you some inputs regarding the subject or regarding the topics that, again, inventory is a primary asset of any retail business, no? Efficient, okay, so again, as I mentioned, no, efficient inventory management and control keep business on a profitable path, help to maximize profits, and make the most of inventory use, avoid overstock, and reduce write-offs. No? So again, as what our presenter mentioned, inventory control can sometimes be synonymic to inventory management, as both inventory management and inventory control help to keep business financially sustainable and meet customer demands. Inventory control is a complex chain of operations that oversees product storage, so replenishment, classification, warehousing, turnover, and tracking inventory and tracking. So inventory control is a multifunctional and multi-dimensional process. Okay, so again, as I mentioned, as our presenter mentioned, there are elements and functions of inventory control: specification of goods, keeping of information on goods serial numbers, barcodes, implementation and control, the ABC goods prioritizing, replenishment process, management inventory list, real-time warehouse reports, real-time goods location tracking, inventory storage oversight, accounting and tax operation associated with warehouse management, and synchronizing warehouse stock with sales. So if business does not control its stock, this can result is back order or overstock. So both being risky for financial performance and customer loyalty. Overstock causes an excess of unsold goods, which breeds operating capital and eventually become dead stock that should be written off or liquidated. So back order in its turn leads to customer dissatisfaction. So as you, as a seller, can supply them with needed items in due time. So if inventory control management system is duly implemented, business takes a full oversight over its stock and take advantage of its rational use. Okay, I think that's it for our topic.